Welcome to Talking Crue, an unofficial Motley Crue podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things in the world of Motley Crue. This is episode 65 this week. Vince Neil, my story on REELZ TV review. But first, this weekend, Motley news, a little bit of it this week. John Corabi and the Dead Daisies have announced a new show, a festival, in fact, called Stone Dead, on August the 23rd, 2025 in Nottinghamshire, England. Other bands that are going to be there, The Almighty, Primal Fear, New Roses, Black Oak Country, plus a whole lot more. You can check this out, tickets, information, stuff, at stonedeadfestival.co.uk. So definitely check that out if you live over in England. Definitely check this out. Vince Neil is in the news this week. He announced a new show with Ace Frehley. Ace was the former lead guitarist for Kiss at the Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort on Friday, January the 31st, 2025 in Unofficial, Connecticut. Also, thanks to my friend Scott Wall who gave me some info, Vince announced another show. He will be the headliner at Rock the Dam on Saturday, July 26, 2025 in Beaver Dam, Kentucky, with opening acts Steelheart, Vixen, and LA Guns. This absolutely freaking rocks, if you ask me. So that's it for this weekend Motley News. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I sure did. I actually struck out on Black Friday Record Store Day. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and my niece, so I kind of overslept. But that's the way it works there. So if you got the Dr. Feelgood single box set, write me a comment down below, or take pictures and post them on the Talking Crue Facebook page as well. So, but yeah, welcome back. So this is episode 65, Vince Neil on REELZ, or my story on REELZ TV review. So let's get right back into this. I'm going to continue on what I'm calling the Vince Neil series. I started it on episode 54, Vince Neil Exposed. Episode 55 was Vince Neil live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, 1993. Episode 56 was Vince Neil Carved in Stone. Episode 57 was Vince Neil live at the Whiskey One Night Only. Episode 58 was Vince Neil's Japanese bonus tracks. Episode 59, sorry, there's my notes, was VH1's remaking of Vince Neil. Episode 61 was Vince Neil's Tattoos and Tequila Part 1, the book review. Episode 62 was Vince Neil's Tattoos and Tequila Part 2, the album. Episode 63 was Vince Neil's TV and film review. And episode 64 was Vince Neil's Surreal Life review. So now that brings us to this week. So let's go some info and facts on this show. It aired on REELZ channel, that's REELZ, on June the 26th, 2022. It was produced by Zig Gaither, that's Gauthier, who's done shows like Big Brother, Real Murders of Atlanta, Sin City Murders, plus a whole lot more. And Patty Hayboer, I'm pretty sure I butchered that. That's Heyboer, who's done Crimes Exposed with Nancy O'Dell. And of course, the executive producer of the show was the man himself, Vince Neil. The show when it originally aired, is 2 hours long. I rewatched it on demand. It's about an hour and 45 minutes now, because they cut out all the commercials. It stars, of course, Vince Neil, plus Nikki Sixx, Tommy Lee, Eddie Trunk, Neil Wharton, Vince's son, Ella Loomis, who's Vince's daughter, Dana Strum, who's the bass guitar player for Vince's solo band, the current solo band, and he is a member of Slaughter. Brent Woods, a former Vince Neil lead guitar player of his band, and he's currently Vince's personal assistant. So there's your info and facts on this. So now let's talk about the show. Now, I'm not going to tell you everything that he talks about. I'm kind of going to give you a gist of it. He talks about growing up in California. He actually started growing up when he was born in Compton, California. He talks about ice skating when he was a kid. He actually kind of mentions the icing with the stars, or skating with the stars. There we go. Drew a blank. He talks about studying music in class, especially the Beatles, how he really loved dissecting the Beatles songs. Going to high school, meeting Tommy Lee. He talks about his band prior to Motley Crue, Rock Candy. He talks about forming Motley Crue. He actually shows the Motley Crue apartment right up the road from the Whiskey Go-Go. They talk about the Shout at the Devil costumes. He talks about the car crash with Razzle. How they came up with the song idea for Home Sweet Home, which is really cool. I actually kind of forgot about him talking about that. He talks about Nikki ODing. He talks about the Dr. Feel Good album. He talks about did he quit or did he get fired. He actually puts the blame on manager Doug Thaler for it. He talks about his solo career, the death of Skylar, the reunion in '97. He talks about the Generation Swine album, that he says that he hates that album. I don't know why, but I love that album. He talks about Tommy Lee leaving. He talks about a little bit about Randy Castile. He talks about Tommy Lee coming back. He talks about the Saints of Los Angeles album. He talks about being judged by his singing on the internet, which is really cool. Forget all the haters. Don't let the bastards get you down. Being away from family while being on the road and how hard that was. The show is absolutely freaking amazing. If you've never seen it and you have REELZ TV channel, go on demand and find it. Is absolutely fantastic. So that's the end of the show. So homework this week. Have you seen this? Write me a comment down below. And what do you think? Again, write me a comment down below. I personally love it. I think it was great. He goes through pretty much everything, and plus stuff he didn't even mention in the book. So, plus you get to see some things like the Motley apartment, this and that and the other, the bridge that he built when he was a teenager, about having a kid and dropping out of high school and getting a full-time job, plus Rock Candy. So he talks about all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely amazing. So that's it for this week's episode. Next week I'm going to continue on with the Vince Neil series, but it is the last episode of the Vince Neil series with episode 66, Vince Neil live in Detroit, Michigan, 2024 review. I can't wait to talk about that. I mean, we got to end the Vince Neil series with a bang, and what a way to celebrate it with this current solo band. So, yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. And that's it for this week. If you know anybody that is a Motley Crue fan, likes to talk about Motley Crue, hear about Motley Crue, send them this way. Hit that share button, copy the link, and send it to them. Tell them go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and type in Talking Crue. All the episodes will pop up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button yourself. Give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. That helps out the podcast a whole lot. I want to thank all my new subscribers, either on the YouTube page, Facebook, or Spotify. Welcome aboard. I also want to thank everybody who's gave me thumbs up, so I really greatly appreciate that. And that's it. I will see you guys next Friday, and you just took a ride on the wild side.